Here with head coach Corey Gipson, Northwestern State. Another mixed up week before Southland play really gets into a rhythm. Home on Thursday against McNeese, on the road against Nicholls on Saturday. And coach, we've talked so much. This team, although a lot of newcomers, a lot of veterans on this team, how important it is to have those guys, regardless of where they were before, veteran guys who can help you implement adjustments and changes on a short turnaround like conference presents.
Yeah, the biggest adjustment for these guys is recovery. They play a lot of minutes, but they have the respect of their teammates. So, when they speak, their teammates listen. But we also have some veteranship and some maturity and some guys that have not played much this year. They have a ton of Division I experience and a ton of collegiate experience. So, we're glad to be able to mesh all of that together to be able to enforce one common goal.
Experience in the Southland Conference with a couple of guys that you mentioned as well.
Absolutely. We went deep into our bench the last game, and we will continue to do that. We have some guys that are becoming more comfortable in the system, and they're playing with the force and physicality that we've been asking of the team. So, that's going to bode well for us in the future.
We talked about the quick turnaround. We talked to DeMarcus Sharp. You were an assistant at Missouri State during the COVID year when nothing was normal. Mm-hmm. Certainly nothing normal that year in conference for you guys playing on Saturdays and Sundays. What did you learn as a coach from that you can apply as we get into conference, even with that middle day that you didn't have in 2020-21?
Yeah, each opportunity presents something different. It's like in the NBA, those guys having to play in the bubble. You really will never find another carbon copy of those type moments during the pandemic. So we have to take each season as it comes, and everything presents something different. But for the most part, our guys have really taken a hold of conference play in regards to how we structure game management, how we structure days off, how we structure load management, and how we structure prehab and rehab. And so that's the key also in regards to nutrition and hydration. There's so many different factors that play a part in the recovery of our guys in conference play.
Well, you guys, I think, instituted some of that with shoulders up days, and I'm pretty sure Friday was a big shoulder up day for you when you're in the middle of conference play.
It was, and our guys, you can have a shoulders up day, but you have to be mature in how you go about it. And I think as the season has progressed, our guys have learned to not only appreciate shoulders up day, but really pay attention to detail, because sometimes you can be present but not mentally there. And I think for the most part, the majority of our squad has been present mentally and physically on shoulders up days.
We mentioned it's going to be a quick turnaround facing the same two teams you faced just a week ago, but you guys have been through this before. You did it with Illinois State on an even shorter turnaround. So already, you mentioned a carbon copy, but a bit of a blueprint for what you did in those two games. Maybe not the same tweaks, maybe not the same adjustments, but the same general feel going into this.
Yes, our guys have really played extremely well in the past 4 games or so. I mean, we gave up too many points against a sharp-shooting, high-shooting McNeese State team. But if you take Texas A&M, you take Corpus Christi, you take this Nicholls game, and I mean, we've pretty much held teams to points per game that we would sign off for in future games. But McNeese State, I mean, they did a phenomenal job of shooting deep threes, and they kept making them throughout the game. So, like we told the team, you guys actually played extremely well. We made them shoot the shots that we wanted them to take. So, and we have a saying around here, is that you only lose if you don't learn from it. Okay, we haven't lost a game this year because we've learned from every outing. Now, if we played some games and have not gotten the outcome that we want, then that would be considered a loss. But for the most part, I tell you what, our guys have been unbelievable in coming back each and every time after outing and learning and retaining information and ready to go out and apply it and execute in the next outing.
Well, one thing you talked about defensively, but offensively, the efficiency's coming. You mentioned it Saturday. A little different style as you get into conference play, but the efficiency, along with that defensive mentality that you've had, starting to look like this team is really, we've talked about the chemistry gelling pretty much since the jump because of the summer, but gelling and the efficiency matching that chemistry.
Absolutely, and that's a great observation. Our chemistry changed some, going into league play because due to injury and having guys out, we had an Elling Dane Prim. So then we have to shift our lineup and somebody else has to bring to the table what he brings to the table. And then Big Wilmore has been out a while. So when you start making adjustments on your roster of plugging in people here and there, that's not the same rotational guys. So now a guy who maybe carried a certain load, he may be trying to carry the load of 2 or 3 other men. That becomes a tall task for our staff and for players trying to overcompensate. Slowly but surely, Dane Prim has been inserted back into the rotation. He's still not full strength, but he's giving his all, and he's getting the dust and the rust off. And we'll have Big Wilmore for the next outing, and that's going to give us a big surge defensively on the interior. It takes 2 guys to box him out, and then when you drive to the basket, you can blink if you want to. He's still going to be there playing peekaboo with you.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.